Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to The Dose. Happy Friday. The week's not over yet. Plenty of time to make it happen.
Sure is.
Jereme Kleven here, alongside the magician, Mr. Mark Hutchins, and the furry little animal behind the glass, Mr. Byron Filson. Gentlemen.
Ridiculous.
The furry little animal. Back in the house, round 3.
Ridiculous.
I never know where I'm going. When I get there, I enjoy it. Back for round 3.
Good.
Round 3 in the house, Mr. Jereme Brown.
You guys are ruthless.
We are ruthless.
Yes.
Ruthless people. Great movie, by the way.
Okay.
Never
Is it a
saw
movie?
Yeah,
What
Ruthless
are you
People.
talking about?
Ruthless People.
Byron knows about it.
Yeah, Bette Midler.
Anything with ruthless in it. Byron's
That was awesome.
That's right.
Well, let's rock and roll today. What are we talking about? We're talking about your, number one, what are right now your let's say your 3 main sources, so your 3 pillars of your business. So what are those 3 things that are feeding the engine?
If you have 3, of course.
Or maybe it's 1 or 2. And then let's talk about Espresso. We were talking about that off air, which is your lead gen system.
Beverage of choice.
I love Espressos. I do.
So we all know that, the legs of your business, everything that's built on is your lead sources. So 3 for me, top 3. Now business I like, so I love open houses because I'm good face-to-face with people.
The best way to get a quick...
it's like one of the most ancient things, but man, if you want
works.
like now business,
Now
just
business,
go
I
hold
like
an
that.
open house.
It
And if you're
works.
1 out of 5 that walk in, I mean, those are good numbers. But if you can grab someone that's like, boom, paycheck.
Everyone who does it consistently cashes paychecks consistently, so there's no secret to that.
Obviously, database is big. Database is huge for me. Number 3, dialing. Yeah, so I just got on a dialer. I had never been on a dialer. I was always a caller. Started with the Tom and Mike Ferry scripts and systems, so have known that for, my whole career. But the dialer's cool. It's really cool. I got on one called Espresso.
Oh, so it's not just a drink. Okay. All right.
Byron's pouring them right now.
That's right.
For good reason, though, man. They named it that. It's cool. It's so quick. I mean, it's like you had 10 cups of coffee, but you're leaving a message for one person and calling 10 more. So you can hit a lot of names and numbers quickly.
Are you using that for like canceled and expireds, FISBOs and things, or more for your database?
All
detection?
3, canceled, expireds, and FISBOs. But you can also, the cool thing about that system and Mojo and all the other ones that I haven't used, maybe do the exact same thing. But
Very similar.
You can take a database of people, upload it in there, and then dial them too.
What's Espresso run a month? How much is that?
$169, I believe.
Okay, so
they do an
Mojo.
intro. They do an intro. $50, $49 or something for the first month or 2. But
So we have Mojo, and it's about the same price, and it does about the same thing. The widgets that allow you to incorporate with Mojo is nice. Does Espresso allow you to incorporate like the Red X canceled expired lists and all that stuff?
it does. The other thing you can do, and Mojo may do this. We're comparing here.
Yeah.
Well, we're not. It's not like comparing.
What you
Who's
do
better?
is you can stick in your voicemails, your pre-made voicemails. Obviously, probably does that, but then you can change what your like buttons do on the screen, so you can totally customize it to what feels right for you, so you don't get lost in the system.
That's cool.
I mean, I like that. Obviously,
Absolutely.
every program should do that, but the other thing that I like about Espresso is that it only allows so many people in the same area to be calling, so they do cut that off. Instead of you maybe having 10,000 competitors on that system alone, they do eventually cut it off per area.
Interesting.
that's
almost
good.
like Vulcan, almost like Vulcan 7 does.
Vulcan
that.
7. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't
So-
even know in some areas if you can even get on there if you wanted to at this point.
Vulcan's locked out of a lot of areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really wanted to try and get on a dialer, and man, it does pay off. That's like nothing,
So are you doing any traditional like farming, mailers, door knocking with content?
Door knocking I will do, and usually around listings that I have. I stay out of the mailer thing. I've never been big at it. Maybe I should. Maybe I should do that in the future. But I just don't like print advertising anymore. I don't like the mailers.
Yeah.
It takes so long to see that return, and it's just not worth it to me. It's just not.
I'll say there's one thing that works and helps the agents manage it better and also send it out on a frequent level at a lower price is Core Fact. But again, once you do it, you can't stop.
Yeah.
It's you become an addict or you don't do it because it's just 2-3 months is not going to bear results. It could, but like it's really, you're talking 12 months to see anything happen. But you see the success over multiple years of that farming in areas.
Yeah, I'm not going to knock it because I know a lot of people who are very successful with that, and that's probably their main lead gen source for their business. but you got to stick with it for multiple years. And it's just
Takes a
another
while.
layer. So if you say, hey, my layered marketing is these 9 layers, maybe that's a 10th, but some people need it, some people don't. It depends how you're hitting the community. I mean, that person that's been doing, we talked about videos on the last day. They might not be doing that. And that might be bigger than the flyers they're sending out.
Well, someone compared it to growing like grapes on a vineyard. You grow them out. You're not yielding your best year. Number one. Number two, the grapes are not even good till the 5th year. But even not saying that that's really how it goes. But if you look at most farmers that are geographical farmers, that's literally how long a lot of them have been doing it. Some of them like decade, but they're pulling massive amounts. So again, if you are going to do it, you have to commit to it.
Long term.
But there are it doesn't have to be part of your pillars.
Definitely not that now business, like you said. I don't know that I've heard that.
No, I like now business.
Yeah. So when you're calling, you started with the mic. You said the Fairy scripts.
I did start.
Are you still using that? Or have those evolved?
I go back to them, but here's the thing with me. And a lot of people feel this when they get on a script is it sounds cheesy to them. It sounds like you are reading a teleprompter and they feel on the other end, those people
they feel it.
They feel that.
Yeah.
So over the years, and once you get smooth with it, you can stick to the general idea of why those scripts are leading you to a certain point. And that is to turn that person into, an appointment or a lead. So, you keep those ideas, but you make it your own. That's what I do.
Yeah, internalized scripts. You always have a baseline of what you're talking about, but it never is going to come out exactly the same. Leading to that question that leads to the answer.
Yeah, it's not natural for most people. You know what I mean? You have to kind of find your way. It's just not authentic to you. But
I will tell you though, my first deal ever in real estate, I had a headset on. I was literally reading the Mike Ferry scripts verbatim, and I still, $500,000 house in McCormick Ranch. First deal ever. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even know where McCormick Ranch was. I ran next door to the top producer at our office, and I knocked on his door, and I'm just like, "Hey, man, you got to help me out here. I got this fish on the line, and I have no idea what to do." And we ended up closing that house in like 11 days.
Wow.
So and that was like my first sense of, holy cow, like this works.
Yeah.
If you hit this all the time, these can be really big numbers.
I love that you just went for it right away.
You know what I
mean? Go. Just go. Everyone, a lot of times, people, and I'm not saying don't plan and don't do things with, with intent, but a lot of times people, over plan and got to make sure that everything is in order.
Doesn't work that way.
Like just go. Just go.
Oh, yeah.
Because your plan's going to fall into place. Your plan has to fall into place. If you've never done it, you're not going to create a perfect plan, for a business.
Right.
It's going to evolve and change and go along with your style.
And on the phone, man, you got to learn to fail. I mean, you're gonna just feel awful after day one, man. Yeah. Those people will crush you.
So what's a goal that you set on the phone? Do you set goals on the phone, number of calls, or is it appointments, contacts? How do you...
It's real. Okay. So yes, you should know, number one, you need to know all your numbers when you're calling on the phone. The problem nowadays is that with canceled and expireds, the days vary so much with how many homes are on the market, like canceled and expired. So a lot of days you only have 2 or 3 people to call. But typically out of 30 phone calls, you should have an appointment.
Appointment for every 30 calls?
Yes.
Well, that's good. That's pretty good return, right? That's actually, that's real strong. So you're doing something right.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, appointment every 30 calls.
That's really good.
Because, I've heard people say, 200 calls
is to one deal.
Yeah.
Or one appointment.
200 calls leads to 4 appointments, leads to 1 deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that you're doing better than that by a significant amount. So
right.
Must be just a charming fella on the phone.
He's a charmer, guys. Charmer.
Is that what it's about?
It is. It's about, hey, you got to charm people or fool them with trickery like I do as a magician.
Yeah, I mean, a guy that I work for taught me this. A top producing agent, when they hear that first no, they'll get through 5 no's before they'll hang up the phone. Where most agents, actually, the majority of agents, after the first no, they'll hang up. So typically, if you can keep somebody on the phone, your numbers can get a lot better than what everyone else is doing.
And that's a very, very good point. I mean, you have to be chipping away at those no's, and it doesn't matter what function you're doing, right? You're going to lead into the same thing when you meet somebody in open house, and they want to see another property, or, you want to schedule that follow-up appointment. It's going to be no. You just got to kind of chip away until you get that yes. We have to embrace that.
Yeah.
when we've said that
Embrace the
before,
no's.
and we have to, we need to reiterate that, right? I mean, you have to embrace the no's. You have to embrace the failures in this business. So you're going to get beat up. You're gonna fail. It's like a professional baseball player failing 7 out of 10 times, and you're in the Hall of Fame, right?
Yep.
I mean, same generalized concepts. Any other nuggets on the phones for the people? We have lots of people that we know that are working the phones. Any other little nuggets, any other little tips or tricks for people that are making the phone calls to get that appointment?
The no thing's obviously probably the biggest, but just stick with it. Like, on a general basis, just do those phone calls every day. If you stick with it for a week or a month, just keep plugging away. Don't do it for a day and then don't do it for 5 days, because then it doesn't have the value of paying $170 a month for that program. But man, if you do it every day, you'll see a 20,000 times return on that money.
It's so true. And it
you
will
get more
work.
comfortable with it.
Right.
And it will work, right? I mean, that's the thing is we are in an interesting time frame, or an interesting, time period of, in business right now. And especially this industry. I mean, I just believe that we can all really decide what we want our business to look like. And if we're consistent with any of those areas, whether it be Facebook open houses, all the, making phone calls, all the things we're talking about, if you're consistent with any of them, it'll work.
Right.
It will work.
Yeah. You're building yourself too, doing videos, doing phone calls. You're working on your own public speaking. You're working on your own presentation. So it just gets easier and smoother, like you said, Mark, and if you stick with it, you just become a master at it.
Yeah,
so.
it's all about creating just like anything else, creating a comfort level with what you're doing.
Right.
First time at anything is going to, first time swinging a baseball bat, it's like, that didn't feel right. It's going to get better. But, phone scripts, everyone talks about scripts, and we always say the internal scripts, but it's like you said. I mean, we hear people in our office all the time, and I get to hear the different styles of people dialing and talking. Thursday nights at the office, are always dialing nights. So we've got
every day for that matter.
Yeah, well, every day, but I mean, mostly at night, you'll see the office is packed up, and getting to hear some of them, where they're really good, and you can tell which ones are new, and you're just telling. And then each week it just changes just a little bit. Their confidence level goes up the longer they have them on the phone. And then the excitement they have and go, I got an appointment. So it's fascinating to hear. But you're right. Just stick with it. Don't give up on anything you're doing.
Did you guys make up scripts on your own that you have all your agents use? Did you implement a set of scripts?
There's a combination. I mean, we've got old schools.
He's turning the mics on us, Mark.
Yeah,
I like
he's
this.
got old. We've got
I'm
old,
interviewing you too now.
I like it.
He's like, how much do you make?
Sir, I think that's inappropriate.
Put your hand down. Yeah. We've got old scripts from back in the day from my
Pam.
and from my Pam. Is it? No, I got the Pan dilemma. There's an N at the M, isn't there? You don't know what that's from, do you? We're just throwing out crazy curveballs at you.
I have no idea what you two are talking about right now.
Step
That's
Brothers.
cool.
Step Brothers, the movie. Come on. We're throwing curveballs back at you. So we don't answer your question. We move on.
Right.
We'll
We make movie references.
Yeah, we make
That's what
movie
you get for asking us a question.
We'll get movie reference to you that you understand. So we have old scripts like from our coach from back in the day when I got core training coached. And then we also have been lucky to see a lot of other teams that have come to the brokerage and see their scripts. And they're all a little bit different, but all of them pretty the same nuts and bolts. So to answer your question, a combination of our own and teams as well.
Got it.
So it's nice to see. But it's
like we
always
said,
a bunch of questions
authentic,
leading to something, right? When they ask you a question, you're asking another question leading to again, that appointment setting. We did a live session on Workshop Wednesday 2
weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, where I actually came into live call with one of our agents, Josh Coleman, and what was great about it was most everybody sitting in the room was brand new, and they weren't understanding. Like you read the script, right? But it's hard to hear what the reaction is because all the script is saying the questions to ask. It doesn't ever give a reaction to. Sometimes it says if no, boom, right? But this was like full on. They got to see the reaction where I was actually kind of a jerk, right? I was being the jerk seller on the phone. But it also gives that reaction because pretty much everything I was trying to do was get off the phone, and he did an amazing job keeping me on the phone with the questions he was asking. So even though my objection was no, or I'm jaded for my last agent because he didn't sell it in time. It was his fault the house didn't sell. Those kind of questions that you're probably getting, or responses.
I usually just invite them to a free happy hour, and then they always show up, and that's an appointment right there.
Just get them hammered and sign the listing agreement.
It's really easy. I mean, you guys are doing it all wrong.
Sign.
You guys are doing it all wrong.
Here. Yeah. You just do the good old fashioned caveman approach. Walk behind him and club him in the back of the head.
Bait and switch, man. Bait and switch.
Yeah. Works every time.
That's good. That's
Foolproof.
good. Well, let's stop there today. Captain Hook steps in again and end for the weekend. Guys, go out there. Plenty of room still to close deals this weekend, as Jereme says. Still time left in the week. Opportunities are there. We encourage you to go out and get it.
Go get them.
Go get it.
Thanks
See ya.
again.
See ya. Byron.
I'll let you have it, bro.